Some people think Bennett's not that good, but I feel he is one of the best non-DPS supports in the game. His abilities can greatly boost your team, especially in the Spiral Abyss. Later in the Spiral Abyss, you will need 2 separate teams. If you didn't get lucky and pull another healer, then Bennett can really help out the team without Barbara. His ult can easily keep your team alive and give you some damage boost. In this video, I'll show why Bennett is such a strong support and how to gear him properly. First, let's go over his skills and tips on using them. Bennett's best ability is his elemental burst, Fantastic Voyage. This ult places a large circle on the ground that has 2 support aspects, a heal and a damage boost. The heal ticks once per second, which is one of the fastest healing tick rates in the game. This heal stops ticking once your active character is over 70% health, but you don't really need much healing at that point anyways. Look at how much faster it ticks compared to Barbara's elemental skill. I know Barbara can get more healing if she attacks with the buff on, but this means that she'll be on the field and she'll be taking damage away from your carry. The second aspect is the attack boost. Characters within the ult circle gets bonus attack based on Bennett's attack stat. Let's go take a closer look. Right now, our Bennett's base attack is 475 and he has a total attack of 565 with the bonuses from his artifacts. We can see his Fantastic Voyage provides an attack buff equal to 60% of Bennett's attack. So 60% of 475 is 285, and 60% of 565 is 339. Let's see how much of an attack boost his ult provides.
Where did that come from? I'm going in!
Doing some quick math, we can see Bennett's total attack increased by 286, which is 60% of his base attack. I don't know where that extra damage came from, but it's close enough. Let's take another quick look with Sucrose. She has nothing equipped and have an attack of 37. Let's give her the buff from Bennett real quick. And we see her attack also increases by 286. You can also increase this attack boost percentage by leveling up this talent. It can almost hit 80% at level 6, and that's not including his Constellation 1 bonus. So now we confirm Bennett's attack buff only scales with his base attack, and that's why he is such an ideal support. You don't need to equip artifacts with plus attack to increase his buff. It only depends on his level and weapon, since those are the only factors that affect a character's base attack.
Where did that come from?
I will talk more about this when I go over artifacts and how to maintain Bennett's burst uptime. If you're lucky enough to get an extra copy of Bennett, his Constellation 1 allows his ults to always provide the attack boost, regardless of your HP percentage. This is quite a nice power spike for him since his ult circle lasts for 12 seconds and the cooldown is only 15 seconds. This means if you are able to get enough energy to constantly use his ult, there's an 80% uptime on this damage buff. Currently, in the month of November, Bennett is purchasable in the shop for 37 Masterless Star Glitter. This means, technically, Bennett is a free-to-play character. I hope this still counts as one of my free-to-play guides. Please don't hate me for this. Maybe we'll see Bennett as a rated banner in the future, so he will be easier to get. Now that we know Bennett's ult is crazy good, how do we always have it active?
Or not.
The answer is to stack energy recharge, which seems pretty obvious. Let's go over some easy methods to increase energy recharge. The biggest boost will be from your weapon. The 3-star Skyrider sword is the best option for free-to-play. The passive increases his damage a little, but we're mainly here for that juicy energy recharge. The 4-star Favonius sword and the 5-star Skyrider blade are better for Bennett, but that's not an option for a lot of people, including me. If you do have those other swords available, then great. If not, stick with the Skyrider sword. It's still really good on Bennett. Now for the artifacts. Once again, we want to maximize energy recharge, and there are 2 sets that are perfect for this. The Exile and Scholar sets. Both 2-piece bonus adds 20% each. Just pick artifacts from those sets that you already have that also provides energy recharge either as a main or substat. Mix and match as needed to get the 2-piece bonus from both sets. We don't care too much about the other stats, even though HP will help the healing a little, but prioritize energy recharge. You can see the artifacts I am using are non-upgraded 3 and 4 stars, but I still end up with about 200% energy recharge. You can also get more energy recharge with his Constellation too, but we are doing a free-to-play guide here. How do we take advantage of the high energy recharge? By grabbing more elemental orbs. The main way to spawn elemental orbs are hitting enemies with elemental skills regardless of them being immune or not, causing elemental reactions, bring enemies to certain health thresholds, defeating enemies, and various passives from weapons. The most reliable method is to use the elemental skill. Here's a chart showing the recharge amount for each orb. To summarize this chart, when you grab an orb, the character that absorbs it get more energy than the other party members. They also get more if the orb matches their element. This is why using double pyro is so strong. You can charge your ult so much faster. Here, we see Bennett's Passion Overload skill spawn 3 orbs every time it is used, regardless of the charge level. 2 orbs are from hitting the elemental skill, and the 3rd orb is from the overload elemental reaction. Since the cooldown increases with each charge level and they all give the same amount of orbs, we only want to tap his E to get the shortest cooldown. Furthermore, there are 2 ways to reduce the cooldown of Bennett's E. Both are from his 2 passives that you get from ascending him. His first passive will reduce the cooldown to 4 seconds. The second passive will reduce it to only 2 seconds if you are inside the ult circle. To unlock the second passive, you need to ascend past level 60. Now it's time to talk about team composition. There is another reason why Bennett is a good support. He is a pyro unit. Why is that important? Because having 2 pyro units on your team increases everyone's attack by 25%. This 25% is taken from your base attack only, but is still a nice bonus. Double pyro teams are also common and very strong. Diluc, Klee, and Xiangling are all pyro units that can be the main DPS on your team. The more pyro damage you do means more fire elemental orbs to pick up, which results in faster recharge for Bennett's elemental burst, which means more uptime, which means more bonus attack and more damage, which leads back to getting more elemental orbs, and so on and so on. Oh, and Bennett's ability allows him to fit into any team. Pyro provides nice offensive elemental reactions, and what team wouldn't want an attack boost and a heal? Alright, enough talk. We went over why Bennett is such a strong support. Now let's show him in action by sending him into floor 10 of the Spiral Abyss. This floor does constant pyro damage to you throughout the stage, so we can really see his healing in action. In this fight, you'll see me spamming elemental bursts pretty much on cooldown. After using Bennett's E, I switched to my main DPS to do a string of auto attacks before switching back to Bennett for another E. Then I switch either back to the DPS again or my other support. You can see Bennett has enough energy to use his ult again even before it comes off cooldown. I'm just constantly switching characters to use all their abilities without having much downtime. I'm not focusing too much on dodging because I know Bennett can heal me right back up. And this is pretty much how you use a support Bennett. Use his ult to increase your team's damage output, and keep using elemental skills to grab more energy to keep the ult up. And pretty much just repeat this rotation over and over again until everything is dead. You can see I ate the entire spin attack from this Hurley Churro.
Teamwork is strength. I suck. Let's light it up. By royal
And here are the stats for my Bennett that just went through Spiral Abyss. He has pretty low attack, almost no elemental mastery, he's just stacking energy recharge, and you can see that the artifacts are all level 0, so he can only get stronger from here. I hope this gives you some pointers and ideas to use Bennett and add him to your team. He is a very useful 4-star support that can help generate energy for your entire team, provide attack buff, and heal them.